Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Learning Torah Lishma. I was thinking about what the Psukim talk about when the brothers sold Yosef. We're not going to get into the whole thing, but they thought that Yosef was trying to kick them out of Klal Yisrael. Why they thought that, right? Of course, Yosef wasn't, so why did they think that? We're not going to get into all those details, but that's what happened. And they sold him. They said, you know what, let's not kill him. We'll sell him, he'll still be alive. Right, both options are bad, killing or selling, right, both of them, but to kill your own brother, they decided, you know what, let's not do that, because that's really bad, That's, even if someone does something wrong, to kill them, to kill your own brother, even though he's trying to hurt you, we'll sell him into slavery. Our own hands shouldn't kill our brother. That's what they did. So Yosef is sold, and he's sold to Arabs, and then he's actually switched different times along. He was switched. Now Chazal tell us in the pasuk it says that they were carrying bosem, a type of good fragrance. So Rashi says that usually they carry neft. Even back in those days, the Arabs were making money off oil and these types of liquid. So Rashi says that Hashem was Mesabev. Hashem caused that these Arabs, they should be, instead of them selling neft, it's a type of oil, they're going to be selling these bosem, these good smelling fragrances. And this is to show Yosef, I'm here. So the question is, of course, meaning if a person being sold into slavery, does he really care if it's boisem, if it's neft? He doesn't care what it is. He sees himself being sold into slavery. You understand? So what is Hashem doing over here? This is the question, and the answer is pillar place. Just for us to understand, Rashi, Kodesh Kadashim. Let's go deep into the words of Rashi. It's coming to teach us something so amazing. That when a person, one of the big midas that the Torah is constantly hinting to is the midah of being positive, chiyuvi, right? To be positive and not shlili, not negative. This is one of the big midas that the Torah is constantly. You see that when the Avos HaKadoshim, our holy forefathers, and the Shvatim, and all throughout the Sifrei Kodesh, the 24 holy books of Judaism, you're going to see that this high level of positivity, that's how they act, that's how they think, that's how they do. And this is it's just absolutely amazing. This teaches us. We see Yosef. Yosef could have, it wasn't like a person goes to a chasana, he goes to a Jewish wedding, and everything is beautiful, but the lighting makes the shaita look a bit off, and then they complain about that. Instead of, okay, we're not saying that wasn't the case. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's just in your mind. You understand? But even if it was, there were so other many amazing things. Why do you focus on that one little thing when there were so many others? That means that this person's a negative person, unfortunately. So they took this whole they had a lot of enjoyment by the chassid, by the dancing, meeting the kala. They had such a nice time. And the reason why I'm saying this is a true story, so I'm just saying this is boys are less particular usually. So, but a girl, when she goes positive, it's like the greatest thing ever, because if you could find a positive girl, really positive, that means she's positive to the nth degree. Is something really special. But, unfortunately today, the system turns people negative. So the girls, like, their specifics, it goes negative, unfortunately. Boys are also affected by this, but less, less. And it's not that the girls are completely affected. They also have positive, in general, but there's so much more that each, the men and the women could have had, if it was if the chinuch was like what the Torah says, real positivity. What should be coursing through your veins, through your bones. So getting back, Yosef, there's so much here to look at that's negative, that little positive, that 1%, or we could say the mani elef of positivity, he theoretically has a rightful reason to ignore. But Yosef is a great person. He's a holy person. He doesn't ignore that. He sees that mani elef, that 1 in 1,000 positive thing, and Hashem says there's always going to be something positive. So you can choose to focus on that. And if you do that, what happened? Yosef, he ended up going to Potiphar, a good place they treat him well over there. Fortunately, the wife over there was trying to seduce him, right? He got into bad times, was thrown into prison, and even though he didn't do anything wrong. And then all of a sudden, he was there, and then he all of a sudden becomes the prisoner in the prison that's taking care of all the prisoners. You know what I'm saying? He's caring for them, as we see. People have bad times. He talks to them, and that's how he eventually got out with the Sarofim, Sarmashkim, with the wine bearer and the baker, and then eventually becomes Sheni Lamelech. How did this all happen? If he focused on the negative, then they would have seen this broken person, and Potiphar wouldn't have bought him. And even if he did, he would be broken and he wouldn't do a good job, and he would just remain there and never go into prison, that he should then find the Sarofim and the Sarmashkim that he would then help, which you would only help if you're positive, if you're broken, right? Even if you managed to somehow get into prison, right? That somehow happened, because no one wants to go to prison, so it had to have happened to him some other way. But he would be broken. He wouldn't be a positive person. Wants to help other people. Negative people don't want to help other people. They're thinking about themselves. So everything that Yosef got was only because he focused on the positive. And he says it doesn't have to be roiv positive. It doesn't have to be majority positive, or even miyata nikar, or even a minority, but it's substantial. It could be mani aleph, 1 in 1,000. And that's what Yosef focused on. That's why Hashem put the boisem, the good incense. Why? To make that there is something there that he could focus on. Look, Hashem made it that it's boisem instead of nef that they regularly carry. And because Yosef was positive, and this was the midas of the Avos HaKadoshim, that's how everything came about. And this is something that we need to learn. We need to learn from our forefathers, from the Shvatim, from Yosef. Positivity, mani aleph type of positivity. And that's how we're going to get Hashem to flow through us all the bracha that He wants to bring into this world. As we see, Yosef ha-mashbir, Yosef, he made storehouses and he saved a huge portion of the world in the drought that would have died without him. Yosef was a blessing. May we be a blessing. Love you all.